let's take a look at task 40. isSmooth. So we define the middle of the array R as follows. If the array contains an odd number of elements, its middle is the element whose index number is the same when counting from the beginning of the array and from its end. That's really funny. That's like a funny, it's like describing the word middle to someone who's never heard of it before. I like that. It's, that's very, what's the word? Rigorous. If the array contains an even number of elements, its middle is the sum of the two elements whose index numbers when counting from the beginning and counting from the end of the array differ by 1. So it's the sum of them. Okay. I was thinking it was going to be a bit like the median, in which case I think we would take like the mean of those two, so sum them and then divide by 2. But in this case, it looks like we're just adding the 2 up. So in this case over here, it looks like we've got an even number of elements. So we would add these 2 up and it would give us 7. So that would be the middle in that case. An array is called smooth if its first and its last elements are equal to one another and to the middle. Given an array R, determine if it's smooth or not. Okay, cool. So I guess for starters, we should probably find the middle, right? Probably a good idea to identify what that is. So let's start by finding what the length is. So we'll do our array.length. We're going to store that in a constant because it's not going to be changing. And we'll say if length mod 2, and you know, like in the past, we might have done something like if length mod 2 is equal to 1, then that means it's an odd number, so do this stuff. But keep in mind, if it's 1, then that gets typecast to true anyway. 0 would get typecast to false, so it's enough to just do this, if length mod 2, and then else. So I'll just put a comment in here, odd length, and then even length, just so no one gets confused about that length mod 2 thing over there. Clarity. Anyway, the point is, if it's got an odd length, then the middle, and I guess we might as well declare the middle. So let middle, yeah. We want to use it outside of these conditional statements, so I don't want to put the let inside here. And I also, I don't want to like have to use a var or something like that. I do want to use let, which means we've got to declare it out here, but we'll assign it inside here. That's going to be the idea. So in this case, middle is going to be assigned the value of, okay, well, we know it's an odd length. So the middle is basically just the number right in the, I was going to say middle, but yeah, I guess. Oh, and to address something Rainbow just said, the reason we're not going to do a const for this one is because for a constant value, you have to assign it when you're declaring it. You can't say const middle and then later on say like middle is 5, because then it'll yell at you. It'll be like, hey, assignment to a constant variable, right? Or actually even before that, so missing initializer in const declaration. So glad you pointed that out though. So, okay, going back to let middle, we want to assign it in here. Is my indentation off? Yeah, that's better. Okay, so middle is going to be assigned the value of, well, let's think about it. So in this case, this is a length of 3. It looks like the index we want to get is 1. So what could we do? Is it as simple as just subtracting 1 from the length and then dividing by 2? Let's see, if it was, let's just pretend this is 5 elements. Here, let's delete that one. Great. So in this case, the length would be 5. We want to get the element with index 2. So yeah, I do think we'll probably just subtract 1 and then divide by 2. I think that's going to be, yeah, I think that'll work for us. So, okay. What do we got here? Yeah, where was I? It was length minus 1 divide by 2, right? So length minus 1 divide by 2. Okay, that's the index though, right? We want the actual element at that index. So let's do that. Actually, wait a sec. I was thinking maybe we could just get the index here and then say middle is going to be assigned the value of, maybe that's a good idea. Yeah, this way we actually can use a constant. So let's just say index. And we could be more specific about that, like mid-index, let's say. I don't know. It's up to you. Okay, so it'd be that in that case. Mid-index in this case would be something else. And then at the end here, we're going to say const middle is going to be assigned the value of array at mid-index. Mid-mindex. Okay, there we go. Great. Yeah. Cool, and that way we can use a constant for middle because it makes sense, right? We're not planning on reassigning middle, like it's gonna have a constant value. So yeah, I think that makes sense. All right, What do we want to do here? So we should probably figure out how to get the middle for an even one. So in this case, we have a length of 6 and 6 elements. We want to get these two, add these two together. So the indices we're looking for are 0, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, 2 and 3. So we want to get from 6 to 2 and 3. Well, 6 divided by 2 is 3. So I guess we could just get the element before that, right? So, oh, wait a sec. Okay, sorry. This was a bit dumb of me. This isn't going to work because in this case, for the even one, it's not just one element from the array. So yeah, we can't do it this way. Sorry, folks. Sorry to get your hopes up. Actually, let me just do like a billion undos to get back to the state it was in before we start getting into this index business. What were we thinking? Okay, so this is going to be array at that element. That's going to be our middle. Okay, in this case, middle is going to be assigned the value of two things added together. So it's going to be something plus another something. And specifically, it's going to be array at some index plus array at some other index. What are the two indices? Well, this one is just going to be length divided by 2. We can do that because we know length is an even number. This one's going to be length divided by 2 minus 1. Okay, so like if length is 6 divided by 2, we get 3. Minus 1, we get 2. We know that we can just do a minus 1 on this because we know that these two elements are always going to be right next to each other. They're always going to be next door neighbors. So we can do something like this, and it's going to be no problem. Everyone's going to be very happy. Okay, so now what we want to return is whether or not the 0th element of the array is equal to the last element of the array, so length minus 1, and also that both of those are equal to the middle. Okay, so what I'm taking advantage of here is something known as the transitive property. Okay, so this is a math thing. Basically, the way it goes is this. So if we have, let's say, 3 numbers, A, B, and C. If we know that A is equal to B, okay, so A and B are equal, and we also know that B is equal to C, well, then that implies, we can deduce logically from this, that A must be equal to C. Okay, cool. So that's the sort of thing that might seem kind of obvious, I'm not sure, but it's good to keep that in mind because otherwise we might think that we'd have to do like a third thing here, like, oh, better make sure that the middle is equal to the last element as well. So, you know, good to know these kinds of things. Like I said, it might seem obvious, but if you've ever taken like a number theory class, it's quite interesting because you look at like systems of numbers where like what would happen if you didn't have a transitive property, you know, what would happen then? So that's kind of neat stuff, but you know, we don't want to go off on too much of a tangent here. So let's get back to the problem here. I haven't tried running this yet. Do you think it's going to work? Yeah, it works. Okay, great. So let's try submitting that. And okay, cool. So that gets us the 300 coin and 300 experience. Very nice. We'll close that. And I don't know. Do we want to do this in another way? Can anyone think of another way we could do this? I don't know. I didn't think of like a super creative solution to this one or anything. So I don't know. I normally do like multiple different things here, right? Like different ways. So here's one thing we'll do. Okay, we'll make a function for getting the middle. Or should we? I don't know. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm really conflicted about this because it doesn't really feel like we need a function for that, but I just have a sneaking suspicion we'll probably be using middle again. So, yeah, I don't know. Is there another way we could do it? Like maybe if we reverse the array, would there be some kind of property there? Oh, yeah, that could be neat. Okay, so, okay. I have an idea. Yeah, I think I have an idea. Wait, I might not have an idea. I was thinking we could do something where like we take this array and then reverse it, you know, so hold on, let me get a sick color in here. And let's make that a bit thinner because I need to sort of match the font size here. So if we were to reverse this array and do like 7, 10, better get the commas in there, 5, 2, 2, 7. Okay, if we were to do something like this, then we could sort of compare them and say like, oh, well, these two are the same, these two are the same. And if we add these two and add these two, so add the 5 and the 2 and add the 2 and the 5, well, obviously these two are going to be the same as each other. But if we add them together, are they going to be equal to the 7 over here? We could do something like that. Oh, geez, I don't know. Like, is it worth it? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do that. That'd be fun. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it'll be tedious and awful, but we'll give it a try. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I guess we could try golfing it. Let's try that in a sec, maybe. We'll see. I don't know. I'm very indecisive. Sorry about that. Length is going to be array.length. Okay, so what we're going to do is we'll say const reversed is going to be... Okay, and we got to be careful here because if we do r, like arr dot reverse, I think that's going to reverse it in place. So like at this point, if we were to just return our array, just making sure I have a 1 there. Yeah, so it's not running that one. Notice how it is reversing the array. I didn't say, I said I want reversed to be the reversed one, right? Not this one over here, not the R thing. So you got to keep that in mind. It's going to reverse it kind of like, yeah, in place. So we could do something like this. Right? Just create a new copy of it and reverse that one. So we should get, if we return array here, we should get the original. So 7225, let's go back up to that one. Yeah, there we go. And if we return reversed, I'm hoping we should get the reversed one. We could even do this in another way, you know, like we could just do something like this. Oh, that looks really weird. Reverse dot reverse. Okay, so it's reversing it. That's good. Same, still reversing it. So okay, maybe it's better to just do it all at once. Yeah, okay, cool, good. Very nice. So let's do this now. We'll say, yeah, I still feel weird about this one, but okay. Let's say const combined is gonna be assigned the value of array.map, and we're just gonna combine the two arrays here. We're gonna like put them one on top of the other, and we're gonna add them together. So let's do that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. This might work out in kind of an interesting way, actually. So, wait, will it? Geez, I'm having a tough time with this. Okay, yeah. We might be able to do this in kind of a cool way. Okay, so check this out. We're going to have the element itself plus the corresponding element in the reversed array. And I'm now realizing... we don't really need to do it that way. Like we could even just say like array at length -1 minus I, you know, we could just do that and not bother with this whole reverse thing. Yeah, that's better maybe. Combined. So let's try returning that. What do we get? Oh, not what I wanted. Oh, maybe actually, hold on. So we get 14. So we're adding the 7 and the 7. We get 14, the 10 and the 2. Yeah, okay. That's what I was expecting. This one is not though. Why not? Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Sorry, it's just that these are negative. So like 10 plus -5 is 5. 10 plus -5 is 5. And then -5 plus -5 is -10. So, yeah, okay, cool. Makes sense. So what we want to check is basically, we want to check to see if this number here is half of this number here. That's pretty much it. Or in the case of an odd length, is that an odd length? No, it's not. Is that an odd length? Yeah, we want to check, in the case of an odd length, we want to check if the middle number is exactly equal to the first number there, or the 0th number. Yeah, you can do something like that. So we got combined now. Combined. Or I'm going to call it folded, actually. Yeah, folded. Good. Okay, folded. Turn folded. Good. Yeah, all right. Because we're kind of folding it over, if you think about it, right? Okay, so basically, what do I want to do here? If length mod 2, then we'll do something else. We'll do something else. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I feel a little weird doing it this way, but who cares? Okay, so in this case, we'll just return array at 0 is equal to array at which one do we want here? This is if it's odd. So we do length minus 1 divided by 2, right? Length minus 1 divided by 2. And we actually want to check if they are equal, because this is the case where it's like the middle one, right? This was a length of 9. 9 minus 1 is 4 divided by, 9 minus 1 is 8 divided by 2 is 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we check if this is the same as this. Okay, let's try that. And then for this one, we'll say return array at 0 is equal to 2 times array at length divided by 2. Yeah, because like the two middle ones should be the same, right? So this is length of 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. This is index 3. Multiply this by 2, it should be 14. So yeah, and then we don't need to return anything at the end. Will this work? I don't know. I have a feeling it's a bit insufficient. Okay, it worked for 7 out of 11 of them. But this is weird because this is one of the ones that I would have expected it to work for. So let's find out what's going on with this one. I see. I'm calling array, not folded. Yeah, jeez. My mistake. There we go. So that's working for a few more of them, but not all of them. So let's see the cases where it's not working. So we got 3, 4, 5. What's wrong with 3, 4, 5? I guess the fact that these two aren't equal, so there's no hope of it passing. And then for this one, I guess the same thing. The first and last are not equal. I'll just put something right here. Before we even do folded, I'll say if array at 0 is not equal to array at length minus 1, return false. Try that maybe? I don't know. It's just looking messy now, to be honest. I don't even know if I really like this one. Yeah, I guess it's working, but okay. We could probably clean it up a little bit. So we'll return, ask ourselves, length mod 2. We'll return, if length mod 2, then we'll return this one up here. And otherwise, we'll return this one down here. Okay, so is that better? I don't know. Yeah, this isn't my favorite problem. In case that's not obvious. So, yeah, I don't think that's really much better than what we had before, but oh well, it's something a little bit different. Let's just submit that and we'll be done with it. We'll move on. If that works, I think it should work. I don't like it, but I think it should work. While we're waiting for that, I would say this one's probably the better one because we're not doing like a whole new array here. We're not storing another array in memory, which could, I don't know the size of these things. Yeah, they could definitely take some time. Like what's that, 100,000? Yeah, for sure. That could take a long time. So this one's probably a lot better. All right, we're done with that one. Let's never talk about it again.